Welcome to our weekly series with Ambassador Dr. Smiley. Today is uh, January 22nd. So today we're going to be talking about very important topic, which is called steps to stop living paycheck to paycheck. Steps to stop living paycheck to paycheck. This is important because it's a common struggle, especially in the Western culture or in the Western atmosphere. About 65% of Americans lives paycheck to paycheck. What does that mean? That means they they live on whatever they earn. There's no room to have money for the rainy days. There's no room to have emergency funds. And once emergency hits or something mishap happen, financially, they have to be scrambling for fun or getting credit card loans or borrowing from friends or perhaps, you know, get kicked out of homes and be on the streets. So, how could we avoid living paycheck to paycheck? This is some of the tips that we're going to be talking, and I'm pleased to have Smiley with me discussing this very important issue. Welcome, Smiley.
Hi, thank you, viewers. Thank you very much for joining us again. So, like I always mention, I always bounce with a smile. Smile to ease out everyone. So, are you guys joining us? If not, don't miss the opportunity not to join this platform, but at the same time, it's a networking, it's an opportunity to connect with Smiley.
Wonderful, wonderful. We are happy to have you. And of course, our viewers keep following Smiley and engage with her. And again, she's a global ambassador, and she's here to give her 2 cents on issues that matters to our community globally. And of course, she's also a great partner with us at New Global Media, who is here for you day in and day out. So let's just jump right into it. As you know, living paycheck to paycheck is a hassle everywhere in the world. The issue about this is like sometimes we oversight um, some of the simple things in life that cause us to be living this lifestyle. But with some adjustments, of course, you could be able to get yourself in a position where you will have some money for the rainy days, some financial preparation in case something happen if something happen to you or your family member. You should be able to be at a position to support that situation. That's why it's very important. And a paycheck to paycheck could happen to even rich people. It is not the amount of money you you earn, is the way you do with your money, your funds, and how much what are your spending habits and so forth. So we're gonna go into details on that, but I will allow Smiley to come in and give us an overview of what we are talking about today.
Well, thank you very much. This is really a very extensively, meaningful topic, and I have been, thinking about it to bring it on the table. No matter what, we are upcoming with many more such meaningful topics. So, like I mentioned, don't miss out. You need to hook with us, and then only you can enjoy the meaningful, insightful sessions where we talk about, like I always we say, that we may not be expert, so don't take us wrong, but we bring the conversation being transparent to the level of our experience. Does that make sense?
Makes sense. Makes sense. Thank you. Thank you. I hope our viewers are following that. Again, you mentioned that right because everything has to do with our personal experience and our research. and also observations from others that
Yes.
will give us to give you the thoughts that we give here as
And
we are
sometimes
all
and
experiencing.
sometimes self-experience. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes. That's why I say personal experience, meaning things that we ourselves goes through, or things that we see others around us
Yeah,
goes through.
yeah,
Now,
absolutely.
um, give us our viewers what is paycheck to pay living paycheck to paycheck, and how do we stop doing living paycheck to paycheck? Since 65% of the population in the Western Hemisphere have this experience. Even though people are working, they're making money, good salary, but they still experiencing this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You're so true. You're so true. Like I mentioned that, living with paycheck to paycheck is have become a common habit here. No matter who you are, how top professional you are, how much you are making, it's a kind of a, I can only say it's a kind of a built-in habit. You know what? You cannot change, or else you are not ready for a change. So let's be ready for the change. It's good. We are in this world in order to gain whatever we have. But again, walking on the purpose within our own capacity, which we always keep on focusing on. So that doesn't mean that how professionally qualified we are, how much we are making, but there is no buffer. There is no saving. What are we doing? Where are we narrowing
You are
down?
cutting, but you are cutting in and out. I don't know if it is me or you.
Oh no. No, is that, are we there? Or should
Yeah,
we?
yeah, yeah. You're cutting in and out. I don't know if it is me or you.
Oh no, I am pretty much with you. I could hear that, but it got frozen a little bit. Do you want to restart?
No, no, go
Or
ahead, go ahead. No, 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 go ahead, go ahead. You are audible
you know,
now. You're good now.
this is the beauty. Sometimes this is the beauty of the digital world. Pause a bit because we are talking about living paycheck to paycheck. So the digital world doesn't like this topic. So they
Yeah,
paused us.
yeah. Okay. So now they lift up the portion, so
Yeah,
we can proceed.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, we have to have an habit of looking into ourselves. That means paycheck to paycheck. Forget about that. I'm talking about number one, pay to yourself. You have to frame that in your mind, not what you are earning. Your focus is earning, and then there is no balance. You are earning, but paycheck to paycheck. So I can do blah, 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 whatever. You are not paying attention to the second option, how much you need to pay. So your focus should be pay to yourself first. How you could do that? That means how much you are earning, you have to budget that. We all make budget. So am I. I'm a very budgeted person. Believe me, trust me. I'll come to that point later. And
Okay.
as a blessed daughter of well-known economist, he has taught me the basic economics of life. So, having said that, I may not be an economist, but those framework which we need to do is very important. That means we need to have a bucket or whatever you call a bowl or a jar, whatever.
Wow. Hmm.
Keep that jar. That means that jar is your focus point. You need to focus on that jar, not empty, because you need to fill that jar no matter what. It could be a cent, it could be a quarter, it could be a dollar, it could be a $50 bill.
You
I
mean
don't
savings,
know.
right? You have to have a saving.
That means first is that pay to yourself. Unless you have that in your mindset again, you
I have,
can never
yeah,
come out.
I have seen a
Yes.
friend. I'll just interject here quickly. I've seen a friend who, whenever he has a change, right,
Hmm.
$5, $2, $10, a change that he was in need, he will put at a place that he never go and then touch. He's been doing that for a good couple of years. So unless and until an emergency hits, like, and then he is no near money, he say, "Oh, let me go to that jaw or that space."
Yeah.
And when he goes there and count how much money he has, he will be surprised.
Yeah.
I did I did one time, not inside my wallet, but under my wallet. I put some bunch of $5 there that I forgot. It was in my wallet for almost a year. One day, I just happened to discover it. I say, "Wow, this thing that I just put there, it amount to about $25, and they were owing $5." And then that day that I discovered that that was able to give me something that you know that I need. I mean, like I was in a restaurant, instead of using my card, and I used that. I used that to actually pay for that. So just to complement what you're saying, this jaw, this separate jaw that you don't even touch unless and until there's an emergency, or you happen to say, you know what, let me go to that jaw just to see what I have or what I
Yeah.
can use out of there. That could be helpful.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a habit we have to build in. Unless we built in that habit, believe me, I'm being grown up with that habit. That's the best part. My parents, especially my dad, like I mentioned, he taught me that. And today I follow that on big, big, big investment because I always believe there could be rainy days. And why do I have to balance? You know what I
Mm.
mean? Your income and your expenses should be here. Your income is here. Your expense should be here, not here.
Not
No,
level. So
no,
so
no,
so
no, not
hold
not
on
here.
right there. Hold on right there. So just to make sure that our viewers understand this part, you have to earn more than what you spend.
Yes,
Okay. Just to make sure that you have a cousin to have something to save.
absolutely.
Okay.
Number two, you have
It's not that if you are earning more than what you spend, you're supposed to. I mean, you're supposed to, in between of them, you're supposed to use that money for
yes,
another expenses again, but just to use that money to save.
yes, because if
Yeah.
this is my income,
Yeah.
whatever it is, okay, now I
Yeah.
have to budget myself A, B, C, D, whatever is that. I'm here. See where I am? I'm not here. Or
You are low.
neither. Why?
Mhm.
Why people go wrong is here. Their expense is here because they don't see what is their income. Income, because nowadays, with a lot of things, anything can happen. You might lose a job. Don't take me wrong. I mean, I'm a straight shooter and a fact finder.
Right. Right. So
Okay?
let me break this that area for our viewers. So your income, the reason why your expenses sometimes become higher. This is expensive become higher than the income because you probably using credit cards or other loans that you don't see as immediately taken from your money, your
Yeah.
income. So
Yes.
now you're still having some money, but you are owing more. So you have to really watch out both what you are owing and what you have or what is
Correct.
coming in. Okay, go ahead.
Absolutely. So
Go ahead.
these are
Yeah.
the key things one have to focus on. And it's not to yourself. Everything good habit starts from your own home. You should be a role model for others, for your colleagues, for your team members, for your other family members, for your
Yeah.
siblings. So when your siblings, when your kids see that, oh, mom is putting something over there. What is she doing? Oh, mom, I also want to have a jar. Dad, I also want to have a jar. It becomes a kind of a project. You know what? This is a project. And you will get glued to it. Oh, today I didn't put anything in my jar. I need to put. That means your focus point is here. That means pay to yourself. Before going to bed, look at the jar. Give a kiss to the jar. Oh, I dropped it. Doesn't matter what is there. Sometimes you can decorate the jar in such a way that you can't see what is inside because it's a surprise. Because when it fills up, it becomes a surprise for you. And you never know, that surprise becomes your big investment. How about that?
That sounds good. So now just quickly about paying yourself. That's where we are at now. The first thing, um, when you pay yourself, the way you pay yourself is you can do automatic savings, right? Like
Yeah.
if you have two accounts, right? You can do your checking account and you can have a savings where you said any
Yes.
money.
Yes.
Let's say they do a direct deposit on your checking account. You can
Yes.
say save $200 every month to my
Yes.
savings,
Yes.
and then that would be done without you seeing it, and you don't
Yes.
even know that money is there.
Yes.
the
Absolutely.
way the way you're gonna enjoy that money is that you're gonna one day, like after a year or so, you go back to that account that is automatically designed for saving. And when you see the money there, you'll be like, wow, how did this happen? So
Yes.
this is what automatic saving can do. And then
Yes.
of course what she said about uh um paying yourself is that you also need to, beside the automatic saving, uh once you get your money, instead of spending take like $500 every month, or $1,000 every month, and say this money is going to be paid to me. To me,
Yes.
it's going to be paid to me based on the fact that I'm paying myself this for my own emergency expenses or family expenses. So the rest of the money, then you can use it for utilities, you can use it for bills, you can use this for other things, going out and eat and so forth. So this
Yes.
500, anywhere from 500 to 1,000, if you're saving, you're paying yourself, every month you get your paycheck, you pay yourself that, and you don't even touch that amount. So at the end of the 1 year or 2 years or 3 years, you will see how much money you're saving. So it's all about discipline.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And when you follow that, it becomes a habit of yours. You haven't put anything. You
Yeah.
haven't paid to yourself. Oh, I
So
didn't pay
so
to
so
myself. Did I forget? Yeah.
yes. So the second area that I want you to touch, which I don't know if you have it on your list, but like budgeting and tracking expenses.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Tracking
Very
tracking
important.
yeah, tracking your expenses is something that I want to come in here because I am one example of that. And if I tell people, they would tell me maybe I have so much time in the world, or maybe I'm even going crazy for doing that. Write everything you spend. It might sound crazy. This might sound crazy, but if you take a habit of writing everything you spend on a daily basis, I mean, it's difficult, but is that is going and spending the money, which and writing what you spend, which one is difficult? I guess going and spending the money, because you're gonna go to the store and spend the money. To write it down is just take you once 30 seconds. So if you don't have issue spending it, why have issue writing it down? I always tell people, like maybe they see that as not important, but if you have a spreadsheet and you write it down, and you make a habit of it, and you value each dollar that comes in, then you know what? You can go back at the end of the year. I mean, at the end of each month, and look at what you have spent in. Let's say you are a person who spends so much on, clothing. Now, this is the time to look back and say, well, but I spent $1,000 on clothing. Why do I need to do that? If you spend too much on food, then maybe I need to cut. Next month I need to cut on food because I don't think this makes sense. If you spend too much on jewelries, the same thing. Any other areas beside the bills, you will know. And even if the bills, you can see which bills are really, because this is happening every month, which bills need to be, you know, cut, by one way or the other by looking at optional ways of getting the same service and at the same time, having having to spend less. So be aware of your expenses on a daily. If you buy a cup of coffee from Starbucks, even if it's $5, if you write it down, then you know that this is how much you spend. So tracking your expenses and then budgeting as well, because budgeting means you would know ahead of time this month what I need to spend on the bills, what I need to spend on food based on previous months. So you can budget that. And then you look at your income. And if you see, your expenses are a little more than your income, then you have to ask yourself, how do I cut or how do I increase my income? Two things has to happen. You either cut back on your expenses and live as a regular person, or if you are buying food from outside, now you have to cook at home. Maybe that would complement that. If you are used to going to shop in name brand, stores, now you have to probably look at stores that have prices that can complement, what you need at a lower cost. So it's a way to self-evaluate and to be financially accountable. Yeah. So then the budgeting comes into play by based on previous months, what areas, how much you budget, how much you spend. Now you can budget ahead of time each and every month. This is how it's gonna go to this, and this is what's gonna be my income. So now if you see a gap, income is small, now you can be hopeful that you're gonna have more money to spend, yeah, and to save. So the gap between the income and expenses is what you use to save and also to invest that money. Yeah. So because if you have more savings at for some little time, you can use that money to bring you more money by investing in stock market or bonds or other areas, or even buying properties. So expenses, and I mean tracking your expenses and budgeting is another area. Do you want to add anything to that?
Oh no, that's perfect, because what I when we are talking about expenses, I will only say that let's not waste. Be in need, not in greed. What others are doing, what others are wearing that brand, what others are driving the car, it's not you. So work around your need. Why you have to be in greed? For what? Just to impress? So when you cut down over there, and why you have to go for such big brands? Like I
Mhm.
always mention, make your own brand. Be unique. Stand out. That way you are wise enough to save and look the best. Does that make
Excellent.
sense?
That makes sense. And another thing that I don't know if like you want to add something to this, but your debts. Many people
Yeah.
have very high debt in credit cards and of course in loans. So the way you can stop living paycheck to paycheck is to try to pay off debts that
Yes.
are actually high interest rates. Because
Yes.
with a high interest rate, if you look at it, your interest, you in any debt, you're paying interest first before you pay the principals.
Yeah.
So if you're not attacking the principals, your debt will never come down.
Yes.
So it's good to have credit cards to build up your credit, but the best advice is try to look for like money back and cash back credit cards. Then if you spend like your grocery, right, instead of going and spending money with your grocery, from your physical cash in the bank that has already been taxed. What you do is you have a credit line where you can get money cash back. So you use that credit card and then pay the grocery money that you're gonna supposed to pay from cash from your bank, from your tax already tax money in the account. You use the credit card to pay and they get cash back on that. Let's say you spending 2,000, you get cash back on that 2,000 on the credit, and that 2,000 you're supposed to pay from your money that is in the bank that's already taxed. You use that money and pay the credit card before the interest is applied. So that
Yeah.
means the credit card is paid with no interest, and now
Yes.
you're getting cash back. Maybe out of that 2,000, you're gonna get cash back of maybe $30. So
Yeah.
you're getting $30 extra money for spending what you spend monthly from your own account. So,
Yeah.
and you're also building up your credit
Yes.
because now your credit card is getting paid on time and you're building your credit history for other
Yes.
financial purpose. So we are
Absolutely.
advising people need to like take credit card just to get what they want, but get credit cards to use it to get cash back and at the same time to maintain your credit,
Yes.
to
Absolutely.
get
That
your
means you
maintain
should be
credit
wise
card.
enough. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So to be financially viable. So this
Yes.
is the skill that many people, especially people of minority, need to look at because that would get them off the debt. So that way you're not paying any interest, and of course you are also maintaining a good credit.
Yeah.
So already, if
Absolutely.
you have beside the student loan, which is which is just investment in education, there's no price tag to student loans. I would say anybody who can get a student loan to study something that will bring you returns, do it. It doesn't matter. But beside that, any other loan you take, try to pay it off, especially the loans that have higher interest. Because if you try to pay the high interest loan, then now you're not gonna be paying for you're not gonna spend all your money on interest. Now you're gonna be
Yes.
paying
Yeah.
on principles, which is gonna
Yes.
help reduce your loan. Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have anything
Absolutely.
to add to that?
Oh yeah, because that's what. And also, we need to, like I say, that our living cost should be simplified, lean and thin. Even with the cards, selective using card with cashback. And number two, have few cards. No need to impress having all gold cards, premium cards. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, what's the point? What's the point? I don't see here any point. I don't see here any point. So everything comes on to simplicity. Simplify your life. Be in budget. Be wise enough to pay yourself and save for the rainy days because no one is gonna be there in the crisis. Believe me, trust me. No one. The social media, no one. No friends, no one will come. You yourself have to face the music. So, before you hit hard, be wise and live peaceful.
Very good. Now, another area that I suggest probably you have an idea about is increasing your income.
Yeah.
As we know, like most of us, we uh living paycheck to paycheck because our income is really very minimal, especially those who haven't gone to school and get a good education or who are not into big businesses. So your income could be very minute because you are one person, you're working 9 to 5, 40 hours a week, and that might not be with the pay rate and then minimum wages and so forth. That might not be sufficient. So in that case, you probably will want to look at other areas. Maybe you get another job to complement your other job, or maybe you want to do some businesses on the side, or maybe you want to do some investments in stocks or bonds or other areas. So if you have multiple income source of income, that could be a very huge factor. But that shouldn't make, just because you're having additional income doesn't make you to spend more. So always remember, you're getting additional income to be to be able to create more rooms to save more and invest more, to be more financially viable, so that you don't have to live paycheck to paycheck. So folks who are watching, if you can incorporate this, that would be very important, because right now if you have one source of income and then you are okay. Now, if you want to be more, even more okay, meaning more money to save and more money to stay away from even paycheck to paycheck, you can have a part-time job, or a part-time consultancy, or a part-time something, so that that would be an additional, but still maintain your regular lifestyle. Just because another money is coming doesn't mean you have to also increase your spending, because then there will be any point, there won't be much point to it. So what do you say about increasing your income?
Yeah, absolutely. One must have the side hustles again within his or her capacity. Because in this race again, you are putting a lot of pressure to yourself from 9 to 6. I have seen how people rushing from one, changing again their outfits in the car, and then rushing into the Walmart. Maybe, he is working in some of the restaurant, just, changing the clothes and rushing there. So don't be in this rushy bushy, you know, way. Be in capacity. Be in
Right.
capacity.
That's
That is
important.
very important because I have seen some of the single mothers and all. I mean, they go into craziness and then it hits them hard because they can't
Yeah.
handle. So why to do that? So be in capacity. Take maybe one, start with one extra part time. Don't jump into one to another, and then you wreck somewhere, you fall sick. I mean, you are unable to handle. So whatever you are thinking of topping it up is all gone.
Yeah. Very important.
Let's not do that. Side hustle is good, but not too many. Start with one.
Yeah. No, no, I agree with you on that 100%. And then another thing that people sometimes negligence of is that when we talk about living paycheck to paycheck, people will tell you, oh no, I can't cut down my expenses, I can't do this, I can't do that. But nobody is saying that you cut down everything. But what we are telling you is that try to see and prioritize things. you know Oftentimes we go we buy things that we don't need.
Yes.
you know we just want to buy it because peer pressure, because somebody else got it. Let's say buying a car. I always tell people, oh, I want a new car because my friend has a new car. I don't mind um taking financing it. I said, what? Because your friend has a BMW of worth of 60,000 and you don't have that money and you want to finance it. Oh yeah, because I want people to respect me for it. Oh, so Driving a BMW, that's when people are gonna respect you. They don't respect you for who you are or what your content is or what you're capable of doing towards human race, towards the community, towards your family. So you want to show feathers out there that I worth this. You don't worth it. You worth depth of 60,000 around your neck. Maybe people would not know. So that's fake for realistic. I'm sorry if anybody feel offended by this because you went and took a loan of such amount or similar. But that's the fact because things like cars, they depreciate the moment you left the garage. When you have a brand new car with zero mileage, put a key on it and you sign off of it with $60,000 around your neck as a debt that you have to pay $1,000 every month, and you drive that out from the car. Try to sell that car. That $60,000 car, when you want to sell it, that one would be amount to what? Less than 60,000. That's what you call depreciation. So I tell people instead of using that 60,000, why not use that 60,000 to pay your down payment and closing costs on a home, on a or single family home, somewhere. You don't have to be here in New York, or even in New Jersey or somewhere where the property that you are buying would appreciate no matter what. The value of that property in a year or two to come, you will have more money. And if you sell it, you at least can net close to 50 grand or 100 grand in your pocket. That's a very good investment. Now, you ask me then if I still need a car to drive. Okay, you need a car to drive. Buy a car cash. If you have 10,000, 20,000 saved, use that money to buy a $10,000 or $15,000 car cash. That way you have nothing to pay monthly. No $1,000 monthly. No amount that's gonna drive you crazy. All you need is your insurance and your gas money, and that's it. Which will not be more than $200 to $300 a month. So these are some of the financial uh, things that doesn't need a rocket scientist. Just spend on what you need, not what you who you are under pressure to get because Smiley has this, so I have to get this. Sam has this, so I have to get this. It applies to clothing, it applies to anything that we can think of. The only way I would do, I would spend just like others would be something that will appreciate. And I know perhaps it's a good financial option. Like I said, education, real estate, and other other investment ventures, but not something that will depreciate. So what do you say to that belief that some people would always want to spend because they feel like that will complement their well-being on their image or who they are, and something that they don't necessarily need? What do you say about that, Smiley?
Yeah, that's what I already touched on. That be in need, not in greed. You are not here to impress others. Be in your own capacity because that's what you are unique. And that's the superpower you have. You don't have to copy others, what others are doing, right? So when you be just real you, not AI version, sorry. Okay? So be real you. Don't be just in the human race to impress others. Like I mentioned, impressing others, what are you gaining? You are gaining your followers, you are gaining your standard, your people will talk to you when you have much. They will just shift their mindset when you have nothing. That's a basic principle of life. So, what's the point? No one is gonna stay with you. Who is gonna stay with you is yourself, your confidence, your wise mind, and your parents. They will always stand beside you. So be truthful to yourself, be honest, be in capacity, be real you, not in greed, but in need. Simplify your life wise enough to rule yourself and stay healthy and peaceful and no paycheck to paycheck.
Excellent. Yeah, that's the excellent point. So I think what we are here to emphasize about these specific topics that our viewers would extract from this is that lifestyle change, simple lifestyle change, knowing yourself and your worth. Also, we are fond of not knowing what we want,
Yeah,
and we settle for jobs, or we settle for roles that is underutilizing our skills and our knowledge. Always evaluate yourself. Am I earning what I worth? If you are doing a work as janitor, and I've nothing against janitors, okay? Just want to be giving an example, and you know your worth to be a teacher. Um, Look at yourself and say, why am I doing a janitor job if I could become a teacher? What is missing? Is it because I don't have the required papers, or is it because um, I cannot market myself? So evaluate yourself and say, you know what? I need to do better because I deserve to be paid this amount. I deserve to be this role. So invest in yourself. Maybe take some classes. Find ways how to do your resumes, or how to make it yourself better, and find advertise yourself at the right places. And I also ask people to do internship, because sometimes in order to get into this job market you have to start with something. So I'm a big fan of sacrificing for roles and getting experience and getting acknowledged, because hands-on experience, mostly some of these jobs, that's what they require. Anybody you go who is to hire, they will tell you what is your experience. But how can you have experience if nobody give it to you? So now what I suggest is go and get experience by volunteering for roles. I think a lot of people are out there. When you volunteer to do work for them, a lot of companies, and they're not paying you, they will say, yeah, sure, come. We haven't employed you for free. At least you do it for 6 months. Yeah, you will be feel like they're using you, but at the same token, you are learning, you are getting hands on, and maybe perhaps with that experience you apply for a real job somewhere, or perhaps that company might even hire you. Like happens to my first job in IT. I got hired through 6 months internship, not even intending to get an internship, but my school sent me to do a 3 credit internship at the Bronx district attorney's office. And while I was there, I didn't even plan to work there for real. I was just there to do my complete my internship and call it a day. But at the end of that, they call me and say, "Gentleman, do you really want to work with us? Because we like you, and we think you are a fast learner." I said, "Are you serious?" They said, "Yes." I said, "What? I mean, I don't think I'm qualified for this job." They said, "No, we think you are a fast learner, and then what we have seen so far, you will be able to do this. We're gonna the rest, is on us to fit in." I said, "Gee, why wouldn't I take it? I mean, that was the only one. I was the only one in my class who had a job that time under my undergrad. So why not in my field of study?" So I took advantage of it. It's the same token. If people wanna, if you're not getting the paid for the job that you deserve, evaluate yourself, and then started, you know, be realistic, and then looking for those. And the only way you're gonna look into it is like you're gonna have to get into invest on things that will, improve your marketing power, be able to market yourself and then get those jobs so you can make, earnings, and that will pay you, enough money to have, not to live from paycheck to paycheck. Yeah, what is your take on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I fully agree with you because, like I always tell people, just always focus on learning, upgrade yourself,
Self.
and age no bar. There is plenty of opportunities in and around. So let's forget on the fact that what people will say. Oh no, don't worry about it. It's an open world. And God has sent you in this world with a purpose. So you're upgrading yourself. Always set your setbacks into comeback. And when you come back, it's an upgrade. And people will pay attention to that wisely. So you become a role model and you lead the journey. So it's a wise way of doing it. Handful experience and getting into the same field because nowadays companies, no matter who you are, they are all seeking and looking for hands-on experience, not on because it's just a piece of paper. Your CV is just a piece of paper, not your actual skill. The companies, when you do the internship and when you volunteer to that platform, to that company, to that organization, they focus on volunteers very closely than their own employees. Do you know that? That's the truth. They pay more attention to the volunteers because they need hands-on experience. And they will pick. If you are lucky, just like him, you will be picked up. That's a big deal. So invest in yourself. Forget about impressing others with foolish decisions versus invest having more buffer than your income, upgrade yourself, and put that extra as your upgrade, and you feel happy about it and get absorbed in the same company. You don't have to look out. Don't you think that's a wise thing to do?
Very good, very good, Smiley. I think invest in yourself is very important, and our viewers follow these tips. Very important, very important. What Smiley is putting out there, and myself, and I think with all those tips that we just spoke about, you should started seeing difference in living paycheck to paycheck. It doesn't take
Yes,
a rocket scientist. You gotta really be self-critic about yourself, and
yes,
you have to have discipline. This whole
yes,
entire thing, writing everything down and tracking them, is the discipline. Having to prioritize your expenses and things that you don't need, and you don't have to look over your shoulder for what your friends has, to think that you're supposed to have that, and look at things that appreciate and spend on those. In things that depreciate, you don't have to spend tons of money on those. Just and try not to be in debt. If you're going to be in debt, just consume something and pay for it before the interest rate kicks in,
yeah,
because it's good. That's good for your credit, and at the same time, you should be able to avoid being paying interests that you don't need. And another thing I want to say to some of those people who are out there who are looking to find jobs: look for jobs that would not be taken by AI. I mean, artificial intelligence is really very, very, very unfavorable to our generation, because AI is gonna be so sophisticated that some people will lose their jobs. So there are certain things that only humans can do. I
Yeah.
don't need to mention them. Try to focus your studies on those areas so that AI don't will not be taking your jobs. Because if you look at some of the technology jobs are now automated, they are
Yeah.
now, outsourced to India and Pakistan and other areas that
Yes.
there's gonna be companies we're gonna pay less on employees. That's why
Yes.
sometimes when you get a call about some services, they will sound like they are foreign nationals because everybody wanna save money on employees. So soon some of the services that can be automated or those that could be used by artificial intelligence will be disappearing, and you barely would have any humans there. Like we used to have people at the subway, train station in New York. Now you go there, only machines you have to deal with. Those jobs are out of the door. You go to the supermarket or other places, you only deal with machines. There's nobody individuals that is attending to you. So where are those people having jobs now? They are all at home, perhaps trying to scramble for a smaller job market. So at the end of the day, you either own your own business, be creative and own your own business, or do something that you will have control over, or try to study areas that only humans can do.
Yeah.
So if not, you will be jobless. I'm telling you, you can have all the education you want. You
Oh,
can
yeah.
do anything, you can have the highest education and the best students. At the same time, if you don't focus on areas that only humans will be able to do in the next couple of years, you won't have a job. So that's another tip that I want to throw out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's again, we need to be very focused and wise enough, whatever, in what capacity we are doing. So our mind should not be focused on others and in and around. Yeah, to keep the knowledge, to upgrade yourself is important. To update yourself is important, but not to dive in. Dive in wisely so that you remain benefited and others not to worry. Save yourself first.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Smiley. I think we can wrap it up now. We are almost like an hour. I know this topic is really, really
Oh, yeah.
important, and everybody can really resonate to this topic. So we're gonna look for any comments and any concerns as we go along. But definitely, what is your final take on this topic?
Well, this was really, I mean, wish I could continue on and on and on and on because I always go unstoppable and all. So for me, pause is something, oh no, I'm not
Mm.
signing off. I can keep going on. What other topics we have? But we do have to respect each other's time and the time which is tinkling, because if we miss that, time will never, it's irreversible. So we will come back with another meaningful topic. And like I mentioned, we are coming up with much more opportunities. So you need to stay tuned, not only on this, stay tuned with me as well. Like and follow my Facebook. Keep liking the videos so that it becomes viral and benefit others, because that's what is our mission. We are not here to brand ourselves. We are here to amplify our voice as much as we can. And I'm always so delighted to be a part of this platform. So keep us always in prayers. Keep engaging with us. Come and join us. Share your feedback, comments, but don't be silent. Because if you are silent,
Mm.
then, hmm, then it's a problem. So let's not be silent. Be wise enough to come to the forefront. Bring your voice. And we will be back with another mesmerizing and meaningful topic next week.
Thank you so much, Smiley. Again, your voice mean a lot to our audience, to the entire world. Taking your time, precious time off and be here with me to really dive into such an important topic, which is paycheck to paycheck. On the knowledge that we have, on what we have researched, and our personal experience, and of course, looking around us, what we discover relating to this topic with others. So we want to thank our viewers. Send your comments, share the videos, follow Smiley, and follow us in New Global Media. And again, we're gonna be bringing you a lot of topics that are usually untouched and that are very important to humanity, to the world. We thank you for your time.
Thank you. Have a blessed night from Dallas.
Thank you. Same here from New York. Have a wonderful night. Take care.